Welcome to Book Huddle. I am thrilled to be talking to Megan today because she is doing a grant all about graphic novels. And graphic novels are so exciting, so I'm going to let her talk about it. Megan, tell me why you did this grant and what it's about.
Well, in our school, it's really important to grow the love of reading. I feel like if you can make kids want to read, it doesn't matter what they read or what level they read at, as long as they're enjoying it and excited about it, they will continue to grow as readers, and it will be a lifelong joy for them. And so we really focus on that. And as I talk to the kids and see what they check out, that is where they're comfortable. And there have been so many studies that show that graphic novels now are so diverse and have so many text features that it really helps our struggling readers. And so our kids that are getting a little bit older but still reading at a lower level, they don't want to read the baby books.
Right.
You know, that's not exciting. They don't want to go get Pete the Cat when their friends are reading something really cool and exciting like Percy Jackson. So that gives them a chance where even if they can't figure out all the words, they have those text features so that they can help figure out and infer what's going on. And it builds their inferencing skills. It actually helps them build empathy because they can see what the characters are doing, and it helps put them in there for the kids that struggle with visualization, because that's so important to build. And so now, as more and more options are becoming available and so many more diverse choices, I feel it's really important for me to have them here. But unfortunately, because of the color ink and everything, they cost a lot more. And so, you know, schools' budgets are cut almost every year.
Constantly.
And I find that I get less and less money, and the cost of what I'm buying keeps going up. And so I don't know what I would do without things like Donors Choose. I've done so many grants with them over the years, from nonfiction titles to like beginner reader, like leveled readers, and several different ones for graphic novels, because I just can't keep up with their appetite for them. And if they're going to be excited to read, I want to have what they want.
You want it to be available. We've got to foster this love of reading and keep it going.
Exactly.
Yes. Excellent. So tell me about the grant. We're going to include in the link below so that you guys can go and get on and donate to her grant to help get more of these graphic novels available in her school library. So what's the name of it?
It is called Graphic Novels for Struggling Readers. And because, like I said, it is the best way for me to take, especially kids that think they don't like to read. If a kid tells me that, I say, you just haven't found the right book. You're not reading the right thing, and we'll work together to find something that they do like. But generally, my struggling readers, if I can find the right graphic novel to start them off with, they will just become obsessed. And they'll come in almost daily for new books, because graphic novels go faster because there aren't as many words. And their kids today are so good at reading the visual parts of it fast. And so they may read them fast, but they're still getting so much out of them. And then sometimes they'll reread them and they'll get even more out of it. But I just really feel it's so important for me to have the ones that are gonna get them hooked. And if you can find the right thing, they will just take off.
I've got a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 13-year-old boy, and they all read these graphic novels. And like you were saying, it makes it so much more accessible. And then the 13, almost 14-year-old doesn't feel like, oh, I'm reading a book for a little kid. He reads Percy Jackson in the big old chapter books, and he also reads the graphic novel version. But his little brothers don't read the chapter book version, and then they have that commonality. And it really is just such a great way for kids to get reading. But because we've got this big age gap of interest, we need more copies in the school library.
Exactly. And the other thing that I've done along those lines is sometimes you know, the kids get really excited to find what is the thickest book that I can find
Right.
in the library. And I'll know that they've picked something that maybe they're not quite ready for.
Right.
But if I know I have the graphic novel of that also, I'll have them check both out.
There you go.
And then they can use it as a support system.
That's a good idea.
There's so many things that you can do with graphic novels, and the kids get so excited. They actually cheer when any new ones come in,
Yay.
and they're waiting. Like, when are they going to be ready to be checked out, Miss Carroll?
Yes.
They're ready.
And there's so much, and a lot of them are based on a chapter book. You know, like Anne of Green Gables was made into like a lot of classics, but some of them, that's it. They're just like Amulet.
It's new,
It's
right?
just a graphic novel. That's all that it is. So tell me, I loved when I first walked into the library and you were telling me your organization. Tell about how you organize these graphic novels to get kids reading more books.
So last year, my big project of the summer was to genreify all of my fiction. And I used to have a separate graphic novel section so that they could find what they were looking for. But what I found is that since they love it so much, that's the only place they look. And I knew that they were missing out on lots of things that they would really enjoy. And so when I started trying to figure out what to do when I was rearranging everything, I decided that I would also genreify my graphic novels. And so the graphic novel section starts every genre. And then as the kids have read all the ones available in that genre, they say, oh, well, Miss Carroll, I've read all of these. What should I read? Or I'm ready for a chapter book. What should I try? I'll say, oh, well, since you really loved Amulet so much, try this one that's right next door to it. I think you might like that one.
Nice.
And it helps them because it's hard for them. It's overwhelming. We have so
Right.
many choices.
Yeah.
My school library has over 10,000 books in it. So imagine making that choice, especially when you're a young kid and you
Right.
don't know all the tips and tricks of how to pick the right
Yeah.
book. And so I try to make it as easy for them as possible.
Awesome. So when I came here, my husband just knew I was going to be here so long because I love books, and I actually would love to be a school librarian. That's something I'd love to go get my degree in. So we get here and I tell her, oh, remember, I'm going to have you share a book and recommend a book at the end. So we're going through and we're just talking about the library. So Megan, what book do you have to recommend to the audience?
All right. One of my favorite series that I've read since I've been here in this library is Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. And it's one, a lot of times with series, I will read the first one of a series to get an idea what it's like so that I can talk to the kids about it.
Yes.
But this is one that actually caught my interest so much that I've read the whole series.
Yes.
And I was just telling Karen that I had been waiting for that book 8 along with some of my students. We had been waiting. I have one that's really into it as well, and we keep talking about it, and it came out, and then I read it, and it was supposed to be the last one, and it ended on a cliffhanger, and now I have to wait a whole nother year to find out what happens.
I'm the same way. I'll read, like, I want to be familiar with a lot of the series, or my son will be like, when are you going to finish Land of Stories? And I'm like, well, I got started, but, you know, I wasn't as immersed in it. But
Right.
this one just pulls you in. You got to
Yes,
finish the series.
absolutely.
So that is awesome.
And
Awesome.
even though they're thick, it's a really fast read.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much. Your school's so lucky to have a school librarian like you, just like that you're interacting, you're reading the books that the kids read. So that is awesome. So definitely check out in the link below to help donate, you know, even small donations. I'll do a quick pitch like this, that sometimes people feel embarrassed that they're like, oh, you know, all I have to give is like $5. I'm not going to donate. You don't need to donate $100 to make a difference. If just 10 of you that are watching donate $5 each, you know, how many graphic novels would you'd get 4 maybe out of that?
4 to 5,
4 to 5
depending. Yeah,
graphic novels,
and that
right
makes
there.
a difference.
And that makes a big difference on your
Right.
shelf. So that is just excellent. All right, and so, but also subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and come back and keep hearing about different ways to get kids reading books and getting more book recommendations. Bye.